think they have a strained relationship just by the nature of how Tommy's lived his life and the fact that his father, I don't want to say doesn't accept him, but has problems with him. My wife has some problems with him. So my relationship is naturally strained with him, although I think he's my brother and I'm the one person who doesn't sit with as much judgment in how he lives his life. I mean, I think it's there. I think I have the judgment, but at the same time, he's my brother, and I don't really care. I love him anyways, you know. And I think that's sort of the approach to the beginning of the relationship. Natalie Portman plays my wife, and she's great. I mean, she's just so talented. I thought that she did such a good job. I remember thinking about the character as somebody who really needed to be rooted and have real strength, you know, be sort of like, I don't know, strong and of the earth. And she's like holding up this family and raising these two kids and dealing with the fact that her husband is, you know, gone away multiple times. And I think that it just takes a lot of emotional strength and backbone. And then she has a lot of things sort of happen to her in the movie too, where she has to be reactive. And I just thought she was so emotionally honest and open in the movie. I thought she did a great job. I think the relationship is strained, but not so much on the surface. I think it's sort of an unspoken thing where there's been this like emotional chasm between them where they used to be more loving and affectionate and clearly caring and communicative, and he's isolated himself more and more as he's gone away and come back, you know, sort of not feeling like he fits in anymore, and that he feels more comfortable being at war, frankly. Although he has a great, great love for her, I think, and that drives him through the movie, his love for her and for his family, but he's just lost that connection. Sam Shepard plays Hank, and Sam's great. You know, he's just such an authentic, honest guy. You know, he's just, I mean, I don't know, I was so excited when I heard he was cast, and it was just so pitch perfect what he did. It was just so honest and searing, you know, and yet it was so simple. I think it's that kind of tight strain, like there's not a lot of affection or outward sort of love, but I think there's that like kind of respect, like, you know, you're my son, you're doing well. And, you know, there's a lot beneath the surface, a lot of dysfunction and problems and things that aren't talked about. And I think there's love, but it's that thing that where people are afraid to communicate and approach things, and then the problems just get bigger and bigger, and so people don't want to deal with it or approach those things. So you just sort of live in this false way, you know, in this way that's not really that honest. So it's like a you know, like a performance of a relationship. I love Jim. He's great. I've met with Jim several times prior to this movie. So we've met to talk about work stuff and sort of socially, and I don't know, he's great. He's so passionate, he's so emotional, he's got an amazing creative sense or spirit, you know. He's just a really creative guy and really intense, and very lovely too. he's great. I'm a huge fan of his films, and I was very excited to get to do a movie with him. The film, I didn't find it just to be like a shocking thing. I felt like I sort of got underneath the stuff, like I could really feel these relationships and these people's lives and sort of what wasn't there, the loss and the pain and the things that weren't communicated. And I thought it was powerful in that way. And I think that, our film is different in a lot of ways, but obviously, we took its structure and its basic story. I don't think it's wearing any kind of politics on its sleeve. I think there's obviously an element of war in the film, and I don't think that can be ignored. I think it's a movie about these family members, and war is a central piece of this story. And, in terms of any kind of political stance or statement, there's some in there, but I don't think that that's what we're leading with.